mosquito. Hey, welcome to another photographic moment. It's been a long time since I filmed one of these, and I have an assistant with me today who's filming, Chloe, my daughter. And one of the things I want to talk about is conditions and trying to overly predict good conditions for landscape photography. And today is a perfect example of why sometimes you can overplan to the point of blocking out opportunities, because normally in July down here, we're in Hocking Hills in Ohio, one of my favorite locations, and normally in July it's very dry in the sun. We end up with some really bright sun, harsh sun with a lot of mixed with shadows. It's hard to manage in an exposure. Well, today it's actually perfect. In fact, I think for this day, July 2nd, it's almost just as good as maybe a day in April or May or even in October. And what's even better, we have this nice soft light coming down into the gorge, being filtered through the trees. And what I love to work with is the way the light kind of gently falls into the scene. And it's much easier to manage in the exposure when I have that kind of falling light. And usually, like I said, in the middle of the summer, we don't get that. So it's really a wonderful surprise to have that today. And also, the water is flowing great. So usually by July, these creeks are pretty dry, the waterfalls are dry, and we've had so much rain recently, it's caused everything to be this nice luminescent green. And also with the water flowing good, it's great for waterfalls. So what I'm doing now is doing some multiple exposures and combining them so I can manage from the highlights to the shadows. It's normally called HDR, high dynamic range. It's become almost routine anymore with photographers, but it gets overused quite a bit. And what I do is I do it just enough to help manage more of those darker areas with the highlights. So that's why I'm doing 3 exposures. The aperture has to be consistent, and the exposures are changed by shutter speed, under, even, and over. And usually I do 3 when I'm outdoors. Inside for HDR, I do more like 5 or 6. But here I do 3. ISO about 50, because I'm shooting on a tripod. I can shoot at these wonderful slow shutter speeds, and what's even better about today is there's no wind, so everything is perfectly still. The day like today down in here is almost, it's made for landscape photography. And so I'm very happy to be down in here, happy to be shooting again, and thanks for this another photographic moment.